one of my friends is taking a financial management class at UVU.
Yeah.
And apparently first day assignment, they're listening to one of the old podcasts I recorded when I was working at the financial counseling
Wait, that's
center.
like so badass.
That's so cool. I'm like this is my old bishop's daughter.
Yeah.
I'm like, what's the chances of? Anyways, I shouldn't be checking that right now.
No, but that's awesome. Good for you.
Yeah.
It's good to have like, that recognition.
It's fun. Well, I've always been interested in podcasting and now I'm like obviously hitting it hard.
Yeah.
But
and you're good with it.
I'm trying. Your guys' episode was fun. It's like the third most listened to episode.
Oh, that's awesome.
One of them is a guy. Well, he has a very big network with DR Horton. So like he pushed it out and it went crazy.
Oh.
And the other one that's actually done really, really well was the one I did about home maintenance to prevent insurance claims.
Okay.
Right. And so she's from Shanna Faulk. She's from a restoration company. And she was like, well, her house burned down. When she was a teenager, while she was out on a date, like one of her first dates ever, and her parents were gone because their dryer hadn't been cleaned out in 13 years since they bought it. And so it caught fire and burned the house down. And she was talking about, it's like, so I really got into that sort of stuff. And now her and her husband run a restoration company.
You should send me a clip because I have to present at another Connect meeting and just something about so I can put it into my presentation.
Yeah.
Just about that's why you should have insurance and especially sewer insurance and all that kind of stuff. And coming from a professional in the industry, I think that would just be really cool to show. Yeah. And then we could also do that for our content as well, because why not?
Yeah. I've liked, because I'm glad that
you
Jared
doing
asked me
some of that for, Yeah,
I'm glad that Jared asked me for a copy of the link, and I've seen some of the clips that he or your social media person has made. And I'm like, oh, that's fun.
Yeah, Mike.
Okay. Pardon. I'm trying to remember because I took a couple of notes, but I didn't write down.
Should I have done something?
No, you're good.
Okay.
I tried to remember what you were doing before, what this business you were involved in.
So for 26 years, medical health wellness. For the last 15, specifically bariatrics.
Bariatrics.
And so I worked for 4 surgeons in the Valley at Bariatric Medicine Institute, also training people around the US. And so I had about 500 to 600 patients a month. So what we're talking about is
a lot.
A ton. Yeah. So it was very prosperous until it wasn't because of the GLP-1s, but I still think that is a cost-effective and very good way. Did you actually see the on the news, the airlines saved $50 million on fuel last year
from people weighing less?
No. How effing fucking crazy is that?
That's crazy.
That is crazy. So there really is so much that's
So bariatrics, just because most people that are listening to this aren't going to know what bariatrics are. Brief quick overview. Yeah. What does that mean? What
bariatrics is weight loss.
Okay.
So perfect. Weight loss patients and whatever way that looks like. So whether it is the shots, whether it's medical weight loss, coached weight loss, surgical weight loss, any of those fall under. If you are trying to lose weight and you are actively doing that, that is considered bariatrics. That is a bariatric realm. And so
I've been on that. Well, not GLPs. I've never done GLPs because I've been scared of them. So I grew up, right? My parents are from California. I was born in California. Yeah. With stories about scary medications that cause people to get cancer or die. Yeah. I was always told a story about one of my dad's neighbors growing up him and his wife were severely obese, morbidly obese, right? They got on some miracle drug in the 90s or whatever it was, right around the time I was born. And
probably
they both lost, what was it?
Was it fen-phen?
That sounds exactly right. I'm pretty sure it was
probably.
They lost 200-300 pounds. Yeah. In months type of situation. Or maybe it was less than a year, whatever it was. It was crazy.
Yeah.
And then both of them were part of some huge settlement. They bought, a luxury house and boats but they were so the skin was hanging off them because they lost so much weight so fast. Correct. But apparently it ended up being terrible. And one of them died from cancer or something like that.
And it was a heart thing as well. Because
so I'm just scared that GLP-1s are gonna be like that. And I don't know any medical stuff.
Here's my thought on GLP-1s.
Yeah.
And just from being in it, right? And so they have been around forever.
Really?
Insulin has been around forever. And so people have taken it forever. So it's not like there necessarily needs to be a 10-year study to see how the human body is going to react to it.
We've been dealing with insulin for a very long time.
Yeah. And people are living and they're fine. The one thing they say is like, if you are prone to like lymphatic cancer, I think it can be like, maybe there's some like in the lymph nodes, whatever, maybe not to take it, but there's all different ones, right? I mean, there's like semaglutide, there's tirzepatide, there's Wegovy, there's a million ones, Mounjaro, whatever, like you see them all the time and they're just perfecting them, right? But they help so much in terms of like diabetes. They help with cholesterol. They help with heart. Like,
so are they related? Are they all just variations of insulin?
Little variations of like,
or they're just similar to insulin?
I couldn't speak for the exact, right? But now people there's just different components. And a lot of times too, they'll compound it. So they'll compound it with like either maybe the vitamin B, right? Or they'll compound it with like something else. Like, so a lot of these are coming through like, even like compound pharmacies. And at this point too, like they're not super pricey. And apparently just heard on the news as well, now they've got an oral pill. And in fact,
I saw that.
One of my surgeons
advertising it too.
Yeah. And one of the surgeons that I worked for actually had it. It was from Canada at the time. It was coming out of Canada and it was a semaglutide, just like pill. They just didn't do it orally yet in the US. And he's been on it forever. And he actually himself has had a sleeve and a duodenal switch. And then also now does like the
he did a
GLP-1 pill. So that's the thing, right? Like I can't, yes, I'm out of my job, like with that particular career because of them, but I can't
and into a better one. Quick quality.
I love it. I love it. But that's the thing, like cost effective wise and risk wise, right? It is going to be. Here's the thing.
Of course, there's a risk. There's some risk.
There's always risk. Yeah. There's always risk to that, and there's risk to a surgery.
But there's a risk to not doing anything.
And there's a risk to not doing it. So diabetes, I have seen patients run the gamut. Even after having surgery, the diabetes took such a toll on their bodies that now they're having to be treated for so many things after the fact. Yes. Is their diabetes essentially in remission? Yes.
Yeah.
That can happen leaving the hospital because like a certain amount of weight is lost, you're good. And they do a pre-surgical diet. But the cost that diabetes itself can weigh on a human being. I mean, now you have neuropathy, right? Some people have vision loss.
Neuropathy is scary.
It's scary.
Scary.
And these people are dealing with for the rest of their life. So so if these drugs are helping people, great.
Yeah.
That's how I see it. It's almost like people are like, oh, but people make themselves feel better with Botox and filler and whatever. Who gives a shit? Yeah. If it's making someone feel good about themselves, that's the overall, like it's
the point of health and wellness is health and wellness.
And wellness.
And wellness is mental.
Correct.
It's emotional.
Yeah.
It's physical.
That's right.
It's financial.
Yep.
Yeah. One thing I'm going to quickly break and get back into it. Just because I didn't do a proper introduction, which we're not going to do. We're gonna.
Sorry, I didn't even know we were necessarily recording. Oh my gosh,
we're recording. We're good. This is exciting. This is what I wanted to be talking about.
Okay.
A lot of people are going to be listening to this and be like, Jacob, you're talking about weight loss and health and all of that. I'm like, yeah, well, I've talked about this already. One of my recent episodes that will go live before this one, I'm talking about setting goals.
Yeah.
Right. And they're like, well, this is financial ginger. Why is it about? I'm like, your physical health impacts your financial health. Yes. Right. If you're eating healthy, that might change the way you're spending money on it. If you get sick and don't take care of yourself healthily, that's going to be expensive, right? You're either going to pay for your health now in blood, sweat, and tears and eating healthy, or you're going to pay for it later when, you're paying for a nursing home, dealing with memory loss, dealing with
amputations, possibly.
Amputations.
Like it's horrible.
So this is tied to finances because it ties
100%.
My wake up call that I had says, ever since I got married, I've kind of struggled to stay in the fitness area, like and keep with it. Just different lifestyle change. Right? Yeah. Like, dude, when you're a single dude in your 20s and you're like, yeah, I go to work and then I go see people and then I go work out at 11 p.m. at night and then I go to bed at 2 a.m. You don't care. You can do whatever you want. You're fine. And then you turn 30 and you're like, oh my gosh, like it's so much. Oh, my back hurts and all of that.
Wait till you turn 40.
Yeah. I'm sure it'll just get better.
Oh my gosh.
Right. And then also the change in my schedule getting married, right? It's like, oh, well, we're spending time with each other and we're going to see friends that we've got. And not everyone wants to be out at 11 p.m. anymore because my friends are starting to hit that older. It's like, oh, I have to change. And one of the things that ended up going away was my fitness. So for like 4 years, I wasn't going to the gym regularly. I'd go for like a week and then I wouldn't go for like 3 months. Yes. And so I did not realize just how much strength I had lost.
Oh, yes.
But also So a couple months ago, this was probably in like October, I was like bending over to like tie my shoes.
Yeah.
And I was stopped by my own stomach. And I'm not overweight.
No. Yeah.
Right. I mean, I am a little overweight, but I'm not like,
you're not obese.
There are people that have it worse than I do. So I want to recognize that I've got a level of privilege to this, or whatever it is, to appease the people, right? To be honest and realistic. But it's like, I don't want to get where I've seen some of my older relatives, or people I know that have really struggled. Like, I need to change this. And so, right. I talk about that more in that episode about setting goals and creating systems to achieve your goals. But I thought this was really interesting, especially when you mentioned it after the other podcast you were on.
Yeah.
It's like getting healthy and health and all that stuff around bariatrics. I keep on wanting to say geriatrics.
No, it's okay. Geriatrics for the older folks and bariatrics is for the weight loss folks.
Yeah.
But a big thing too, though, is people don't understand that like they can manipulate their metabolism, right? So we're born with fingerprints. In our metabolism, we have a metabolic thumbprint. Mm-hmm. So we always have a metabolic rate, and you can get that tested and see where that's at, and it's wonderful. And you base—
Is that called BMR?
Correct. Yeah. Basal metabolic rate or resting metabolic rate, like whatever. And so you take it and you can really— and there's like breath tests, and we offered that at the clinic as well, which was great. So you look at that number and you can base how many calories maybe someone should have. And here's the thing is people underjudge that, right? Yeah. Everyone thinks, oh my gosh, you have to starve yourself in order to lose weight. And the fact is you should be eating to manipulate your metabolism. There's ways to manipulate metabolism. It's going to be what you eat. It's going to be your activity level and how you sleep. And people also undervalue sleep.
Undervalued. Yeah.
Nothing resets your metabolism, your bodily functions, and your brain.
So how important is it to get 8 hours of sleep?
Here's the thing. This is my opinion. Okay. And you can go in, there's a lot of studies, and I used to do a lot of presentations on sleep. Sleep is how you feel rested. If I get 10 hours of sleep, I'm going to be drowsy. For me, I'm like, oh my God, I got too much.
It's terrible.
6 to 7 hours for me is usually perfect, honestly. 8 hours, I don't know, right? Like everyone recommends, it's highly recommended across the United States, like that 8 hours. But truthfully, it's what you're comfortable with. If you are rested, you feel like, oh, I've got enough sleep, generally, all your functions are going to be just fine, right? Yeah. Everything is going to be reset. Because like I said, we are not mannequins. And I always try to say that. A lot of times we are meant to be put in a box, right? Oh, you're labs, you're this, you're that. Well, who the hell have you been compared to?
Yeah.
Right? You don't know which study that was in. You don't know who you're being compared to. So that's why you have to go by like, symptoms and how you feel and stuff like that. But in terms of sleep, you can't just put a solid number on it, because maybe there is that person who genuinely needs that 10 hours of sleep. There might be that person who could go, hey, I'm on 4 hours. I would work with the miners out in Elko, Nevada. A lot of miners. We had contracts with the mines. And so they would do like the bariatric surgeries or not. Trust, their metabolisms figured out what their schedules were. And we could work in workouts on just their weeks off or their days off, right? Because they would have crazy rotating schedules.
Well, if you're working
night,
12-hour
morning,
shifts.
Blah, blah, blah. Like it was crazy. And then they're on the bus for 2 hours there and back. So a lot of times the lifestyles were very unhealthy. But guess what? We came up with very great ways to make it okay and very cost-effective ways. So the weight loss, it's not there's not one single method for every person. And that's why it's so important to, if you don't have someone in your corner that can guide you through it, that would be a great investment, because overall it's going to help you down the road to prevent some of the horrid things that you see with obesity.
Yeah. Yeah. Or even just not being healthy. Like you were talking about neuropathy, right? Like I know people that have had struggles with alcoholism for 20 years and that causes neuropathy, or they might be eating healthy, but they're not exercising regularly, and 30 years, 40 years of living like that, and your leg muscles aren't going to be where they're at.
Circulation.
I was told, and I would love your thoughts on this.
That
the two biggest indicators of long-term physical health is grip strength, and like I don't know the term for it. It's basically like muscle mass in your thighs, like being able to walk, basically, like that, I don't know the proper term for it, but anyways, like those two things are like the most important indicators of holistic functional, because your grip strength's good.
Yes.
I don't know why, but.
Well, it's stuff that they do when you do get muscle testing, right? One of the very first things are grip, and the second is reflex.
Yeah.
And so where you are with that. And that is going to, of course, and as we age, we don't just naturally gain that muscle or, maintain it as well as we did, which is why, of course, like having protein in your diet.
Yeah.
But people like to think carbs is a bad word.
No, you need carbs.
It's not. You need carbs. We don't necessarily need a Twinkie, but fruits, veggies, nuts, beans, yogurt, cottage cheese, those are your staples for weight loss, right? And then once you get to a certain point and you're getting to where you want, then you start to add in maybe the oats or the whole wheat or the grains, because those two, right? People always think, oh, I'm eating for weight loss. They'll have oatmeal every day and they don't lose weight. There's a reason for that. So to structure it appropriately, and that's what I do with my patients, my private clients, I make sure that they have bariatric nutrition if that's what they're looking for. Not everyone's looking to lose weight. No. Maybe you just want to gain muscle. Great. Let's pound this and figure out what's great for you, right? But we have in society these notions that carbs are bad. People hear carbs, holy crap, that's it. No. Guess what actually maintains your muscle? Carbs.
Yeah.
Protein is what repairs and builds. Carbohydrates is what maintains the muscle mass, right? So you have to have both. It's got to be a dual combination, as well as, of course, fats and the right amount of sugars, but the types of sugars, right?
Yes. Yeah. Sucralose and fructose are very different.
Yeah, correct. And people don't think of things like cottage cheese and yogurt having sugars, but it's actually natural sugars from the whey from the animal, which is wonderful. Those are great. Our bodies recognize it. What they don't recognize is that Twinkie. What the hell did you just put in me?
Aspartame.
What do I do with it? Or aspartame, those type of things. And so it's funny because people will be like, well, what about Diet Coke? I have so many patients ask me about Diet Coke. And I'm like, here's
what about
the deal.
Diet Coke?
Let me
Tracey, what is the deal with Diet Coke? Can I drink my favorite drink?
Oh my gosh, yes, you can. But so here's the thing, right? We always say too much of anything too much of a good thing can still be too much. Yeah. Right?
If you only eat peaches, that's a bad thing.
Right. Because where are you getting your protein from? You're getting all these sugars. It's just, everything is metabolized so quick, right? And so protein is actually what slows the metabolic rate to be able to essentially metabolize these things in a much healthier way, right? So if we only had protein, we wouldn't have the other nutrients that we need as well.
So I've been told that we need that, and it kind of seems like we're hitting at this.
Yeah.
When you're eating a meal, it's good to have all those things in the meal, right?
Correct.
Like if you only eat your protein for breakfast and then you just eat your carbs during lunchtime or however you eat, that's not good. Kimberly, my wife, was telling me about how something that she was reading, it was like, hey, eating a little bit of sugar, if you want to have sugar, like eat a little bit of ice cream or have a Snickers or whatever that is, it's fine, but it's better on your metabolism and how your body digests it and utilize if you eat it with your meal. Right? Like if you eat your dinner and you've got your, steak and potatoes and broccoli and you're like, don't wait till 3 hours later to eat your ice cream. Like have a little bit of it, because you'll not only do you tend to eat a little bit less because you've just eaten your meal. So lower caloric intake, which is obviously important too.
Correct.
But it's going to give you more of a satisfied feeling because you're eating that with the proteins and the carbohydrate. Is that
correct? Well, and also though, but you have that protein that's helping to slow everything down, because the glucose, whatever. So the glycogen process is slowed down.
And slowing down, does that improve the thermic effect of food, or is that just going to help you feel full longer so you're less enticed?
Well, correct. And it might be all, but for people who are trying to lose, right? So it's better just for digestion, for that process. If we just let the sugars go down. So I'm actually writing a book. It's called The Metabolic Army. Okay. And so
this is a book you're writing.
Correct.
Cool.
And so it is and I use this with patients for years. And so finally I was like, I better copyright this. I got to figure this out, because let me explain it in this way. Sure. I always say it's kind of like trying to explain it to a 4-year-old. And that's how I like to be explain things, honestly.
Same.
I don't like all the medical jargon. I just want to what the hell is it going to do or not do? Okay. So here's the deal. when a protein comes down, so think about your metabolic army, your metabolism as this army, and that army is your enzymes, right? So a piece of chicken comes down, nice piece of chicken. Let's not worry about like what the flavoring, topping, skin, no skin. Let's just say a good piece of chicken, a good piece of protein. It comes down. Your metabolism is like the sergeant, and it's like, everyone, soldiers, get up. We've got work to do for like the next 3 hours. We got to break this down. So everyone's coming out to play. We're breaking it down. We're breaking it down. Wonderful. Okay. Now let's say that piece of chicken never came down, but we had some grapes with it. Okay. The grapes come down. The sergeant's like, we need a couple of you. We got to break down the fiber. Not a lot though. Okay. But we just need a few of you. So that's not really effective, right? It would be better to have the protein first. So that way those enzymes are out in high numbers. They're super excited. They're jazzed. Well, guess what? Those grapes that would have metabolized not quite as efficiently are now really pretty efficient, right? We're doing really well because we've had about 3 bites of chicken and now 2 bites of grapes, right? That would be wonderful. If you're going to add in maybe a more like starchier form of carbohydrate, nevertheless, let's just say this whole plate is super healthy. We've got some quinoa, right? Yeah. It has some protein. It's also got the carbs, but you would want to have that last. Okay. Because that's also going to like fill up really quick, but you want to fill up more on the protein, right? So the best way to eat would be a protein. So 3 bites, 2 bites, 1 bite. So if that was your plate, 3 bites of chicken, 2 bites of grapes, 1 bite of quinoa, repeat until you're full.
And is that the actual like process of eating, or is that just like how you're balancing your plate? Like
no, that's like actually like how
eating.
Like that. Okay. And that is how I still eat. Even if I have like a chicken Caesar salad, I will take 3 bites of the chicken, a couple bites of the salad, repeat. Right. Gotcha. And then I'll mix and match. I don't care.
Yeah.
Let's just say you decide to have, so when people are like, well, why can't I lose weight? And I'm having high piled turkey sandwiches every day. Here's why. Let's say you take that piece of bread, specifically white bread.
White bread's terrible.
Here's what happens. Your metabolism, the sergeant is going to be like, all you soldiers go to bed. I'm going to actually put a blindfold on, and I'm just going to get up from my really long nap and deal with this bread. Munch, munch. Like that went quick, and the rest of it's just going to go to my storage units. What's your storage units? Your fatty tissue, right? Correct. And so,
gotcha. Okay, so if the army doesn't take something,
doesn't do crap. It's not. It's just like I can do this with my hands behind my back.
It's simple carbs.
That's how easy it is to metabolize. That sergeant doesn't need any help from the soldiers because it does nothing. Literally does nothing. So you're going to metabolize it 1, 2, 3, and then done.
Okay.
So what happens is when you have that wonderful turkey sandwich, your metabolism, the sergeant's like, oh, cool, here's this turkey. Oh, okay, we don't really need it. Oh, wait, now we need you. Oh, we don't need you. Now we need you. We don't need you, right?
Okay.
Because you're having it all come down together. And so again, is a turkey sandwich bad? No. But if you're eating a sandwich like every single day and you're trying to lose weight, it's probably not going to happen as efficiently as you want it to. And you might not lose how much you want. Right. And so there's ways to manipulate the metabolism. And one of those biggest things we can do is food. And here's the other issue is people think, oh, the perimeter is more expensive than the middle of the store. Yeah. Right. The perimeter is all the whole foods and the stuff that's fresh and like the fruits and the veggies. And for that sake, okay, even some of the baked goods or whatever, right? But what's in the middle is the boxed. Is it this and that? Okay, yes, you do have like good oils and stuff like that. That's fine.
Yeah.
But those box things, look at the prices.
Oh my God.
They're not necessarily.
Pop-Tarts are really expensive nowadays.
Yes, exactly right. And so are chips. And so is everything.
Oh my gosh. Yes. Like I was looking at like the bag of Doritos. It was like $7.50 or something like that. And I'm like, holy crap.
It's expensive.
You know, like I could buy a steak for the price of a bag of Doritos.
Correct. Like, or you can get chicken thighs, or you can get
chicken thighs are still cheap.
Chicken legs, $5. You get a family thing at Smith's. So we could go all day as to how we could argue all day long with people like, but look at this. But when people really, right. But when you really start to look at the brass tacks, you're going to realize, wait a minute, I can actually eat very plentiful as well as very healthy and bariatric friendly if we're talking about weight loss for probably less than if I just did the box stuff, right? Or the canned goods or whatever. And again, canned, frozen, that's okay. Have the veggies, whatever, that's fine. But let's get away from the notion that all these things are cheaper. They're not necessarily cheaper, right? And I don't want to speak for other people's finances. Some people, it is very hard and to get things, but thankfully our grocery stores, even through this craziness in the economy, are providing really good sources, and you can get on and do apps. I do the Smiths app religiously.
Yeah.
Every Wednesday, I will have my alarm set 7:30 in the morning, get up, do my coupons, right? Or whatever. And so I am very much frugal in that way, but you find those deals. And if you can buy, maybe you can.
Well, I do a half a cow. I'll go to a butcher and I'll find a friend or a family member and we'll buy half a cow. Last time I did that, I think my average price per pound afterwards was just under $7 a pound.
Okay.
Right. And obviously like a third of that is just ground hamburger, which for some people are like, okay, that's a little bit expensive ground hamburger. But I'm like, I've also got T-bone steaks. I've also got a whole brisket.
Yes.
I also, this last week, this might be weird for some people, I ate cow heart. I asked the butcher to give me all the organs. I've got 2 packages of liver and I had the entire cow heart and I prepared, cooked, 8 cow heart and onions with rice.
I think that's great.
Super helpful.
I'm a liver girl.
Organ meats are super healthy.
Organ meats are great.
And even if you don't, it's still cost effective. Obviously, you need freezer space. You have to plan for it. It's a big bulk purchase.
It is.
Right. When you're getting like, however many pounds of meat. It was like $2,300. It was something crazy, getting 350 pounds of meat in one go. Right. And I'm splitting with, I remember we're splitting the costs and all of that. I don't like cooking brisket. My dad loves slow cooking it. So this last one, he got the brisket. I got a couple more steaks, right? Like find a way to make it work. Yeah. And that makes it more cost effective too for me. It does. To eat more protein. Like there's, or like you said, Wednesday ads, Smiths, or occasionally like, I can't remember which, it's right by Ace Hardware out in Saratoga Springs, but there's a family grocery store. Every once in a while, they do a big thing where you can get like a huge 50-pound box of chicken. And sometimes they'll do it where it's boneless. Sometimes they do it where it doesn't. And it'll be like $50 or $62,
and that's
when
the
it's
thing.
boneless.
I have found deals at all of them, at Macy's,
you can get protein for $1 a pound.
Or whatever. But for more commonly, it's going to, for people to, more consumers are going to be going with like more, the grocery stores that can, get a little bit more for your value. And that's great. And so it was one of the most rewarding things in my career and still is being able to coach people through what works and what doesn't, and to see their faces when they come out on the other end and they're seeing results. Yeah. And nothing is more expensive. In fact, it's less because they're not even eating as much as they did, because it's almost like when sugar breeds sugar, carbs breed carbs. So the moment, your taste buds get a hang of that, it's like, I want more and more. I mean, can you really take that one bite of ice cream and be like, wow, let me at least have a couple more, because automatically, right? And unfortunately, when we're stressed, our ghrelin, which is like the hormone that makes you hungry, right? Our leptin is the one that brings it down. Okay. But the ghrelin, it starts to skyrocket, right? Stress. It doesn't know what kind of, you could be planning for the best wedding of your life. You could be doing something. So you could have won the freaking lotto and now you're stressed like, oh my God, I got to get whatever. Your body has no clue if it's sick. Your body doesn't know if it's not eating. Your body doesn't know if it's not sleeping, if there's no movement. It just knows, oh crap, trauma, holy crap. And what are you going to crave? You're not craving a chicken breast. Mm-hmm. You're going to crave that bag of chips. You're going to crave easy, that piece of bread.
Simple carbs.
Correct. And
your body can get that quickly.
Correct. And so that's why it takes about 21 days to really start to create a habit. And if you can really nail it down, that's why I don't take patients through, I don't do cold turkey shit. No, that's not my jam. I'm like, let's work with actually what's going to work for you and your lifestyle. And that's what was so wonderful, is to be able to work with literally thousands of people.
You say 500 to 600 a month. That's a lot for 26 years.
Yeah. So there's a lot of practical application in that. Yeah. And so to be able to see the differences between people, it helped me out, right? It was symbiotic, because I have such a great idea of so many varieties of lifestyles and what can work. And I can tell you, the cold turkey thing, you might think you're the strongest willed person on earth. It will last for a while, but it's not going to be a lifetime.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, I'm doing that right now, right? Because I've been consistently working out 4 or 5 days a week for the last 3 months.
Good job.
Last week I missed a couple of days.
That's okay.
This week I've already missed 2 days, right? Yep. But it's like changing your identity from that white knuckling cold turkey to, oh, who I am is this. Okay, fine. I might mess up 2 days in a row, but I'm back on it the third day. And that's more important over time, especially when you're trying to lose weight or trying to build muscle or trying to get more healthy. Who cares what you do one day? What matters is what you do as an average, right? I'm able to say I have shown up properly 10 of the last 13 weeks.
100%.
That's a win. Who cares that I messed up 3 weeks? And that was including like, Christmas holidays, right? Like when it's easy to not eat very properly when you're getting so many
Here's what I learned
sweets.
as a collegiate rower and then racing skeleton, right? For the US was consistency wins. In my races, consistency wins. If you can put down 2 solid skeleton runs in a race, that's what you get is 2 runs.
What's a skeleton run? Is that
skeleton
like my
is the head first? It's an Olympic sport. It's like head first down the bobsled track.
Oh, okay.
So so that's what I raced. Cool. And so, and that's I did do bobsled for a couple of years, but like, what it is though, right, is 2 consistent runs, right? Just like in rowing, if you can stay consistent, that's what generally wins the races, right? You don't want to have one super great run and then one real crappy run. And like, it's just always a teeter totter because that's generally not where you're going to get. And so I kind of think of that in life as well, like consistency. But what I had to learn over a lot of time, and I still struggle, is giving myself grace and not having a guilt, because you never want to associate an emotion with a food, right? An emotion with like, oh my God, I screwed up, because then here comes self-sabotage. As humans, that's what we do. We don't give ourselves enough credit. And that's why I went and got like life coaching certifications, because myself, I have struggled with that and I wanted to help others. And so to be able to take that emotion out of food, or that emotion out of like, oh my God, I suck, I didn't get to the gym, dude, that's worse for us, because we will believe what we tell ourselves, but we believe our lies all the time, right? Like mistruth, like non-truths. And why not tell ourselves truth about ourselves? Hey, you're doing great. You're doing what you can do right now. You're killing it. Like that will stay in our heads too. And I've struggled, and I'm very open about it, which is why that was one of my biggest things to get certified in that realm. Is body dysmorphic disorder is no joke. And when you are trying to lose weight or gain muscle or do anything with your body,
it's very triggering.
It's very, very triggering. And you have to have those right tools to kind of meander through that journey. And thankfully, I've had really good people that I can turn to in my life, therapists and friends. And my husband is a rock star, because I might say something one day, I don't say it in front of my kids. I don't like to say it like to people, because I don't want people having that vision. But for me personally, it's been a struggle. I mean, during the time I was training as an Olympic hopeful, I would sometimes look at a cookie and be like, oh shit, that's going to slow me down tomorrow at the race. Is that really? No, it's not. All my years as a trainer, I know better? Yeah. But we
still lie to ourselves.
We still lie to ourselves. And so it's a struggle. And when my anxiety is high, my BDD is off the charts. And again, thankfully, I have good people around me I can just bounce it off of, and okay, hey, come back to reality, right? And
accountability
it's okay.
partners.
Exactly. And it's exactly right. And to have those accountability partners is key. But
and that works in any way, whether you're talking about consistency and going to exercise, just having someone that you text every day. Like I've even in other episodes encouraged people, it's like, hey, if you're trying to go to the gym and don't even know where to start or work, fine. ChatGPT might be a good place to start and just asking, what are some basic exercises? But everyone has that one gym bro friend that's like, 250 pounds of meat, which I imagine is what your husband was like when he was in high school, right? Like that, just be like, dude, everyone I know that's a gym bro is so ecstatic to share that with someone that asks. It's like,
they are.
I don't know what to start. I've never, like my first time I ever went to the gym was in high school. My friend Quinn Colson, shout out Quinn, freaking love you. Well, his stepdad was really, so when his mom got remarried, his dad was like into lifting. So he got into lifting because he loved his dad, It's like, this is so cool. So we're in high school together and he's like, you got to go to the gym with me. First time I ever went to the gym, this guy was like, not my friend Quinn, this other guy we were watching was like on the bench with like 6 plates, dislocated his pectoral muscle. The ambulance had to come and take him away because he was lifting so much. I'm like, is this what the gym is like? it's not what the gym is like.
Oh my
but
gosh.
Quinn's gonna be like, I'm using like 10-pound dumbbells. I'm a scrawny little like 16-year-old high school kid, and I'm like, whoa, and I'm like, whoa. And it was so cool to see, like, he was curling like 50 pounds in high school, which I was like, whoa.
Wow.
Like,
yeah.
And so it was just nice to have someone there to show me what to do, because I had no idea. I didn't grow up going to the gym and all of that. So if you got someone like that and you're trying to figure it out, ask them.
That's right.
Right? If you've got someone that you look up to, that it's like, hey, I'm trying to eat healthier. Give me a couple of ideas. And ChatGPT is going to start. And if you need more help, having someone like that as accountability partner.
There's so many avenues.
Text me when you're at the gym. Remind me to go. Or can I go with you? Or whatever. It's a great place to start, especially if you don't know where to start.
It is.
Or when you need more help, right? Like, I've got a coach now.
That's right.
Rounds Complete Fitness. Go Alex.
There we go.
Right? And that's how I've been able to be consistent, is I have to message her every day what I've done. And I have to be honest when I'm like, I didn't go today. Yeah. That's fine. I'm allowed some grace.
Yes.
But yeah. Okay. I know we're out of time.
Oh my gosh. Sorry. I know.
I've been dying to ask this one question, which might take too long. So there's not time.
No.
We might have to do it again. So one thing that worked for me a long time ago, this was like before I got married, it was the last time that I got to what I thought was like a healthy weight for my height, according to BMI and other stuff.
Yeah.
I was doing intermittent fasting. Okay. So like, it wasn't every single day, but like once a month I would do a 100-hour fast.
Okay.
And then once, twice, sometimes 3 days a week, I would just do like one meal for the day. And I've been told by some people that is really bad for your metabolism, because like eating in the morning gets your metabolism moving. Like, so I just want your general thoughts in that area for 2 minutes.
For 2 minutes. Let me just tell you. So I think if something is allowing you to kickstart anything, go for it. Like if it's in a healthy realm. I would personally advise, here's the thing though, my patients, like when you're at the point where you're getting bariatric surgery or something like that, you have struggled. Yeah. And the last thing I want to do is say, hey, try this for a short period of time. It's generally something that's not going to stick. Mm-hmm. So I don't love starting to recommend something that's not going to stick. But saying that, if it's going to help, like so many people, right? When the keto craze was going on, we had so many people on keto. Unfortunately, though, what happens is they gain it back, right? Yep. As soon as they stop it. So I would rather say, like, I like to do the 5 and 2 way of eating, and we're 5 days a week. Keep it real. Keep it to your proteins, and then fruits, veggies, nuts, beans, yogurt, cottage cheese. Put that down. The next 2 days, two of your meals have a couple servings of basmati rice or like quinoa, or have some oats or whatever. Make sure to have the protein with it. And a couple of those days too, feel free. If you want that frozen Snicker, have it. Maybe have it right after your meal or whatever. So that way your body is like not necessarily missing everything. And so sometimes I have to put people on like the 4 and 3 or whatever to get them into it. Trying to do something sustainable. So that's, and again, intermittent fasting in and of itself, like there's so many great qualities to it. I personally, and I might get hate for it, but I don't.
No hate.
Yeah, no hate. I don't suggest a lot of those things because generally people can't stick to it, nor would we necessarily think human beings could. Yeah. And so, totally, but I think it's great. There are great qualities to fasting once in a while, like maybe how you did it. Okay, cool. But if you're doing it every day, a lot of times, yes, your metabolism does slow down because you need, again, manipulated metabolism. We need to strike while the iron's hot. And in the morning, if you can, and especially too, like if you can exercise even like in the morning and then come back and have that protein drink or have, protein in the banana or whatever, like whatever you're going to have, like a good, healthy, balanced breakfast, make sure to have protein and like a good, like weight loss friendly carb, man, you're hitting it because your body is ready. It's not only just it's woken up, but now it's been manipulated by exercise, which is wonderful. Now you're giving it food. Holy hell, your day is going to start off great in the metabolic world. So there's lots of things. And I just want to add for anyone listening, you're doing great. If you are trying, you're doing great. Because it is a journey. It is not something that happens overnight. Weight does not come on overnight, and it's not going to come off overnight. And you need to give yourself grace. And if something happens, a hiccup in the road that you're not right where you want to be right at that moment, please give yourself some grace because we will just self-sabotage and go in and spiral back into habits that maybe we're not super proud of, or maybe that just simply didn't work. Weight loss is a finesse, and you need to figure out what works for your metabolism. What works for mine might not work for yours, and vice versa. And that is okay. Again, we're not mannequins. So finding those avenues, but nothing has to be expensive. Nothing has to be off the charts. Nothing has to be too invasive unless it does. Right. And that's where a medical professional can help you through that.
Love it.
So I just want people to be happy. And honestly, when you're happy with your habits, you're generally, that self-love is going to come a little bit better too. And I think all of us, I shouldn't say all of us, I'm speaking for myself. I can lack that, and I need to continue to be better at that. So anyway, there's my 2 cents.
I love it. No, I want to leave it there. This is great. Thank you so much for coming and
Thank you
sharing
for
all this.
having me. It's a passion. So
yeah, I don't know. If you're listening to this, just like Tracey said, just, I don't know, share where you're at. Share some habit that you've changed that you're proud of in the last year or two. It doesn't necessarily have to be about this particular. Maybe it's a financial habit you changed. Maybe you've changed that, right? Maybe you used to go out and eat lunch 5 days a week, and now you're only doing it twice a week. And that's a good financial thing. And that's a good health thing too, because preparing your own meals, you're gonna be able to control the protein and
100%.
So like whatever you've done in the last couple of years, give yourself a pat on the back in the comments and share what it is that you've done. And I'll leave it there. Thank you so much for being on.
Thank you so much for having me.